Okay, well, welcome back, everybody. We're getting ready to fire up our show. Got a couple minutes here, and we'll be going live. So I'm getting everything prepared and ready to go. Alrighty. Grab my notebook. All that cool stuff.
One minute until showtime.
One more minute. Send a message, let everybody know we're on the air here. Chat room is open. Good, everything looks good. Okay, folks, well, we'll be live here on Blogtalk in just a short while. Please call in 347-989-1008. Join us. Be happy to have you. Oh, I didn't do very good as far as the stop smoking thing. I was doing rather well, but I caved in. So, looks like I get to start that all over again, too.
Show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3,
Here
2,
we go.
1. Blogtalk Radio.
Clarence?
Yes.
Matty B. The pictures I used to see were kind of shadowy at first.
His point is my son.
Yes, this is a man.
Hi, my name is Julia Deacon.
Can I ask Clarence, from his experience, do you feel that they were what they were after?
Yes, I posted something the other day, listening to you and the guy from Australia talking.
Hi, Clarence. This is Phil Peters.
It's Benson from the Canadian group. Cell phone seems to have dropped through one call. Can't find it.
I woke up with 3 small figures, the grays, standing next to my bed.
Hi, Clarence. This is Colin from Australia. How are you? Yes, it's Mike and Janine. Hi, Clarence.
And what kind of experience have you had?
Clarence is an empath. Just having trouble with my smart TV. It turns out to be a dumbass TV.
My name's Lee. That's Lee Stacy.
This summer, I've seen all kinds of bizarre things in the sky.
Really? You really want to hear my story?
I have an extended find that is called a tongue tail, I guess you would call it. It doesn't stick out, but it goes way past my butt.
Fellow administrator, Melissa Bryant.
This is Tim. Caller.
If you don't get to you fell out in a wormhole by accident.
Yeah. I got some El Reno off. Hey, brother. I've had 3 sightings in Massachusetts. I've had 2 in Hollywood, California. I've actually got to see an extraterrestrial. And here am I stuck here on this planet, and I can't get off it. That's how I felt.
So what is your mission here on Earth, or?
Create the planet Earth of all its oxygen, and I shall impregnate all human women.
His point is my son.
Everyone looks at the sky, and we're drawn to the embassy.
Hi, Clarence. It's Carol. I've been watching Ancient Aliens since the beginning. I was hooked from the very first show.
I want to ask you a story today called This is
Mike. This is Lee's brother.
Hey, how you doing? This is Dan. I'm an admin on the Taste Alien site. Just wanted to call and say hey.
It's just a shame that we have people out there who take things funny like this.
I'm going to tell you a secret, people. Now, hold on now. Hold on to your seats.
Or making crop circles. That makes a lot of sense. It's brilliant.
What I did was I had to call in as a guest on my own show. Can you believe that?
Rob, is that you, sir?
You sure, you bet. Yep.
And hey, Clara, Sharon McQueen, how are you?
That's crazy. I went to the 4-foot stack of National Enquirer.
His description of him was a classic, what would be described as a classic gray alien.
I don't mean to sound sexual, but sharing the night together with the song we used to sing together.
Hey, guys.
Hi. I finally made it.
All right. I have to agree with Clarence. I think this was one of the best shows we've ever had.
Well, I had no idea that you had an encounter with the breeze.
When it vanished and disappeared, it made like a sonic boom.
Thank you for your show.
Absolutely. You're very welcome. Thank you.
Good night, and keep eyes to the sky.
Well, welcome and hello to everybody, and welcome back to Closer Encounters, where you, the listener, is also the guest. As you know, I'm your host, Clarence Mitchell. For the next couple hours, we're going to be here on Blogtalk Radio, and we'll be taking comments and open line to anybody who wants to call in. Of course, the number here is 347-989-1008. Or you can catch us in our chat room on Blogtalk. Just log in and say hello to us. And we're also on Facebook. So there are many different ways. You can also watch us on YouTube if you don't want to call in or whatever. We're live on YouTube at this very moment. So, very a lot of ways to see us and hear us and get a hold of us. So, very good. Okay, well, tonight's episode, I gave it a kind of a crazy little name here. It's called "It's Better to Research Than Not Search at All." And you'll find out doing what we do, that's really the whole case. You can't just take people's words for things and go online and watch YouTube videos and stuff and say, oh, okay, it's got to be true, because there's so much misleading information out there. And you'd be surprised, as I found out in the last week or so, especially with some of these posts I've been dealing with, and a lot of you know what I'm talking about. There's people that wake up in the morning and do nothing more than get on their computer to raise holy hell with everybody else, There's all kind of trolls out there. There's all kind of, people that just want to sabotage your whole world for whatever reason. I don't understand it half the time myself. I really don't. And then there's those few who do give out information that honestly just don't know the real thing, And I'm not saying I'm a know-it-all. Because definitely I do not know it all. I'll tell you that right now. But there isn't a whole lot about UFOs and aliens and ancient mysteries and things like that I don't know about. I've been doing this a very, very, very long time, and between the books that we had in the 70s and 80s and into the 90s, then the internet come out, and tons and tons of reading, tons of research. You know, I spent many a day and night in the libraries, literally microfilm, if anybody remembers that. You know, microfiche. I used to, well, I had a stack of that stuff a mile high. Just a long time research. A lot of history books, which now I say that they have to be changed because of all the newer discoveries that we've come up with over the years. You know, we definitely have to start rewriting some of this stuff. Some of it they won't because they haven't have a definite answer yet on a lot of it, but to be quite honest with you, there's a lot that they can rewrite, and I think they should rewrite. Because I tell you, it's always changing, and it's going to keep on changing. So the least they could do is update it a little bit anyway. But anyway, with that being said, I want to I wanted to find a couple of things here I was going to talk about tonight real quick. As you know, I have been, well, some of you may or may not know, I've been going round and round with these flat earth theorists, and it's funny, some of the stuff that I see and come up with, it's just amazing. And I made a post yesterday, and well, here I'll read it to you real quick here. I did post it on the Closer Encounter page also to try to get some reaction out of it, and it didn't look like a whole lot of people did much, which is okay. It's okay. But I'll tell you what this is. I made a post yesterday, and it's called "This is How Conspiracy Theories Are Made," and that was the title of it. And I put on there, I posted a video that I took from another flat earth group. And yeah, I robbed it from them. Why not? And I wrote on there that I want everyone to look at this video. They say seeing is believing. And I want to see how many people can figure out what is wrong with this video. I will give you all the answers shortly. Don't forget to read the post before you view the video. Okay. With that being said, if you read the very first part of the post, the very first sentence, this is what it says. Horizon flat, exclamation point. Horizon at eye level, exclamation point. 121,000 feet, okay? This is not possible on a ball. 3 times higher than airplanes fly. So that's the very first sentence. Well, if you look at the video, for one thing, it's definitely not anywhere near 121,000 feet above the earth, okay? You can see houses, you can see streets, you can, you know, you're above the clouds. Actually, I don't think this video was made any higher than any normal airplane, you know, would fly, which is like 30,000, you know, 40,000 feet, give or take. I forget what the actual total height that you can go with an airplane before oxygen has to be used, but I know it's not anywhere near 121,000, I'll tell you that. But anyway, so what I did, I posted this video. I'm not going to give the guy's name out. If you want to see it, it's been posted. I posted it on my own timeline. I posted it in Close Encounters page. I think I also put it in the decoding group with Mike and Janine, and therefore people can watch it and whatever, and it, you know, it shows where I got it from anyway. But if you watch the video, here's the thing. What you're going to see is you're going to see this half dark screen, and just below that is what you're supposed to believe is the horizon. And then you're going to see some cloud cover, and you're going to see all the buildings and the mountains and all that stuff. And you can also see an antenna that's sticking out in the video. That's obvious as all hell. You can't miss it, okay? Well, my main thing was they were talking about the horizon, which is that light blue line that you see between the black and the Earth, okay? And if you ever seen a live video feed from NASA, you know, from the International Space Station, it kind of resembles this, okay? And I seen other people who had commented on this same video where I got it from, said, hey, look, there's no stars, there's none of this, you know, blah, 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 and all this stuff. And I tried to explain to them what the deal was with it, where I took this video from, but nobody paid attention to it. They didn't want to hear what I had to say. So that's why I stole it and I posted it like I did. Here's the thing. That half black area that you see on this video is not the horizon. What you're actually looking at is where they place the camera inside a box or underneath the wing, or, you know, if it's a hot air balloon, they probably have it underneath the basket someplace, you know, or something like that. And the camera's not actually pointing straight across. It's actually kind of in a tilt, in a downward tilt. So you're looking at it like so. And it's being covered like so. So what you're seeing is the bottom of the covering that's on top of the camera. So that light blue line that you see there, that hazy looking line, is sunlight, you know, because it is definitely daytime. And you're seeing the very bottom of this object, whatever it is, that they got covering the camera. And that's exactly what it is. That's why it's so dark. So the camera's actually looking half in and half out of whatever this thing is. It's kind of in a downward projection, you know, kind of like this. And you're actually looking at the very top of the box, or whatever the thing is that's holding that particular camera in. So I just wanted to point that out to people and have you look at that video and you know, judge for yourself. But you'll see how the video turns and comes back and does all these weird maneuvers and stuff like that. And upon doing further research on this particular video, I come to find out that it was actually stolen from another YouTube video from a guy who took this video in a hot air balloon. So, however you want to go about it, whatever, but I'm just saying it's all hoaxed, and, you know, that's what you're seeing. So I thought I would explain that to you. So if you want to watch it, it's posted there in Closer Encounters. It's posted on my timeline, and Mike and Janine's decoding group also. It's on there. So check it out. And but this is how conspiracies are made, and it's really funny because if you didn't know the difference as far as looking at the video, and you know, if you've never been in an airplane or anything like that, and know what ground looks like at, you know, 30,000 feet or whatever, then you wouldn't know what this is all about. So there you go. I just thought it was awful odd, you know, how it was turning out, and I looked at it a few good times over and over and over and over, and I'm like, there's just something not right with this. Well, then they showed a shot of sun glare and all this stuff, and I'm like, that's got to be metallic. The sun is actually shining off of it, making a reflection. So yeah, booyah. Yeah, unbelievable. But this is what people do And then they try to post it off and pass it off as being real to make their point, which, dude, you're all wrong. You know, this is not the way to do it. And it's sad to see people go through this length, you know, to try, because they have no other evidence, they have no other proof that this is what they have to do in order to, you know, come up with their synopsis or whatever. And it's a sad deal, it really is. You know, so there you go. And I will stand behind the live NASA feeds, and I will stand behind, you know, all of that and all our years of pictures and satellite images and whatever as my proof. I don't have to go out and, you know, go above the earth to prove that it's round, because, you know, I'm going to stand behind what we actually know and has been taught, you know, throughout history. And, you know, if that's the case, I'm sure Galileo and all the rest of the guys would have known it was flat long before that. And that's another thing I want to point out too. People didn't always think the Earth was flat. You know, they knew in ancient times that the Earth and all the planets and that were round, obviously, because they carved it, they wrote about them, they did all that. It wasn't until, you know, 13th, 14th century, somewhere around there, maybe even far back as 12th century, I don't know, is where certain areas and whatever made the claim. And it was only because of the oceans, basically, not because of what they could or couldn't see, but because of the oceans and the way the oceans look, you know, look like you would just drop off the edge. That's where a lot of the guys in that would not sail so far out, because they were afraid of dropping off the edge of the earth. And that's how that myth came about as far as the flat earth thing. Well, of course, you know, when Christopher Columbus, you know, came here and proved that the world was round, that he didn't fall off the edge of the earth, then that pretty much ceased and desisted. So that's how that all came about. And of course, you know, and I know that Christopher Columbus was not the first guy to sail across there anyway, and but that's a whole different story. But just letting you in a little secret. So anyway, that's how that goes. So surprised Mr. Tim hasn't called us yet. Normally he's the one of the first ones to give us a shout. So if anybody's interested, would like to call in, of course the number here is 347-989-1008. By all means, give us a shout. Colin says hello, he's tuned in. Very good, thank you, Colin. Okay. Yeah, I have many different ways that the chat room is open. If you'd like to use the chat room on Blog Talk Radio, you can use the IM Messenger. You can, or just get on one of my posts and type a message, and I'll see you on there. So I'll get notified one way or the other that, you know, doesn't much matter. Works either way. Trying to see how our other thing is going on here. Cool. What's the topic for today? It's better to research than not search at all. Basically, it's just about you know, doing your schooling, what to look out for, what not to look out for. You know, just gave a good example with that post that I made, you know, about the flat Earth thing, and I have to laugh. A lot of people are, you know, gee whiz, you're really pounding them guys hard, you know. Well, it's not really that I'm pounding them hard. It's the fact that, you know, they're kind of being ignorant about it, and, you know, so I just want to let them know that. I will call your bluff on something like that. I hate people that go out and intentionally mislead other people. I don't think that's right one bit. It should never be done. It's bad practice. And, you know, eventually you're going to get caught and fall on your face anyway, so why even bother? I mean, it's ridiculous, you know. But it's really something how people do that. We had a lot of really good stuff. And Colin says, yes, it's rude too. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Colin. It sure is. It sure is. Some really cool stuff. If you're not a member of the Ancient Alien group on Facebook, please, by all means, check it out. It's a great group. You can find it at the facebook.com/group/AA Theory. We have, well, let's see, what is our total membership now? I know it's, let me check here. Let me look. Look at that, 34,339 members. 34,339. That's astonishing. That's just, wow. Fantastic. Fantastic. So, well, good deal, Colin. I'll be waiting for your call. Good thing. Yeah, he said he's gonna be calling us here in a few minutes, so that'd be good. Glad to have you. Absolutely. Yeah, that's wow. I don't think we had maybe 20,000 at the most, something like that, when I first came into that group. And you know, Matt Bowers done a hell of a job on this group, keeping it going, keeping it alive. And you know, we got a lot of admins besides myself. You know, Kimberly Wright and Paul and Mike and just, you know, and Matt and Yvette and on and on. I forget how many we have now, but they do an awesome job keeping us on and you know, weeding out the spam. And I think this may be Colin. Hello, caller. Is this Colin?
Hey, Clarence.
Hello, sir. How are you? Great to have you.
Great to meet you.
So what's new, my friend? What's going on?
Well, I was just thinking about what you were saying before about, you know, educating yourself. And I think I was talking just last night with a friend about, you know, the different natures of things that we can talk about in different companies.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, you know, that it was disappointing and could be somewhat stressful. And I said, well, you know, each person educates themselves at their own rate at which they're comfortable.
Correct.
And as a result, some people are much further down the rabbit hole than other people.
Mm.
You know, people cope and deal with concepts when they're ready. You know,
right.
I think that's what this whole journey is about.
Sure, absolutely. I definitely have to agree with that. And like I said earlier, I am nowhere near a know-it-all. I'll tell you that right now. But I do have a lot of people that seem to come to me with what I call simple question and answers, but maybe not. I mean, you know, I never really stopped and thought about it like that. You know what I'm saying? But I am really glad that that I can help them out. And if I don't know, I definitely point them in a direction that I think they may be able to find out. And, you know, and of course I look myself, you know, on top of it. But, yeah, I mean, you know, it gets deep into other conversations like we've had. I am no physicist or by any means, or, you know, and different things. So
I'd just like to say, though, that I think that people overvalue, you know, qualifications like that. To me, a physicist or a scientist, anybody who takes the time to look at the world objectively and to understand it. So, you know, I think people undervalue themselves because they don't feel qualified to consider certain things. I can tell you for a fact, just get stuff majorly done. That's part of the journey, really, isn't it?
sure, absolutely, absolutely. Looks like we may have Lee with us here. Let's see if this is Lee. Lee, is this you?
Hello.
Hello, how are you, dear?
Hi, Lee.
Hi. How's everyone?
Fantastic.
Well, it's an early morning here.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how did you...
Late afternoon here.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Colin, how you... I know we were talking earlier, you said you had to get to bed, and I almost forget that you're on the other side of the world there in Australia, so it's like, yeah.
I wasn't expecting for it to be morning. I was kind of like, you know, an hour, and I was like, oh, bloody
Exactly.
I'm not much use. I haven't slept, that's for sure.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. Oh, Lord.
Me too. Oh, I just got off work, so.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I just got off work.
Yeah, I don't start until tomorrow morning. I go back.
You already started your, before I even got home, your calling.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, did you guys see the video I posted of the UFO I saw?
Yes, and I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, I see it, but I guess I couldn't even see it.
Oh, it's weird. A friend of mine saw it and played the video for me on his phone, but said that like it just isn't showing up in on his phone. I'm just going to see if I can find it again. I'm wondering whether or not Facebook, what do you call it, decrease the resolution on the video or something.
Oh, okay. Let's see, that was posted in Ancient Aliens, correct? Let me see here.
I'm not sure.
I think that's where I found it.
I didn't see that photo.
Here it is.
I did flex on out or whatever, but.
Yeah.
Just going to.
Looks like we have one more caller too.
A guy, he is an astro, and he said that if we knew what to do, he said not. Yeah.
Right.
Don't know what he does.
Oh, that's something.
Well,
he was a NASA. Think about it, he's a NASA physicist.
Oh.
I guess some people cope better with reality than other people, I suppose.
Okay, well.
Right. Oh, we have another caller here.
I was like, I wonder what he knows.
Yeah, exactly. I think this may be, if I got this right, this may be Brooke, I think, from Oklahoma.
Hello, Claire.
Hi, Brooke. How are you, dear?
But I haven't heard from you in a while.
I know, it's been quite a long time, hasn't it? How are you?
Yeah, it has. How's work going?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Recovering well from getting hit.
Yes.
You know, just
Been working.
I couldn't imagine doing that. I had a cousin that was hit. I had a cousin that was hit one time, and man, it mangled him up something really bad for a long, long time. I just can't imagine, going through all that. That's crazy. Yeah.
Wasn't fun, that's for sure. Pretty scary, but you know what? I'm alive and I can walk and
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Good deal.
I'm good.
I'm glad you're with us.
Sorry. No, go ahead. I just saw a post on where it said it's official China government confirms the existence of UFO and aliens. We already knew this back in the Roswell, right? Or Roswell. Rather, I should see where aliens. Yeah, this is posted recently. Yeah, we work for aliens. They don't work for us, for them.
We're $233 trillion in debt to somebody.
Yeah, 233 trillion. Yeah, that's a lot of money. Yeah.
Even for America, that's a lot of money.
Absolutely. Yeah. There seems to be some type of interference we got going on tonight. I don't know if it's the weather or what it is. We do have a little bit of a skip going on, so if everybody's listening, just be patient with us. Hopefully we can, get it cleared up a little bit. But
anyways, that one post says if you knew what we do, you'd never again.
Really?
So I know.
Yeah. I don't know. I think people more an extra skills. I mean, they're obviously a lot different than anymore.
Completely agree.
Yeah.
I'm more scared of I don't know, people will try to wrong me or whatever, but extraterrestrials, I'm just trying to get along on message. I don't think they're trying to hurt us, because if they're trying to hurt us, then there'd be a lot more deaths, because, obviously there's people that have had encounters, that's clear.
Mm-hmm.
So, if they wanted to hurt us, they would, but or something. That chases are good. Out.
Well, I had a question about that too the other day, and I think I remember posting something about it online. And Colin, maybe you can answer this for us. I don't know, but my question is, when excuse me, when they're using SETI and they're getting back this code that they got, normally it comes in with a bunch of numbers and letters and stuff like that. How do they know that this is what is being sent to us instead of some type of symbol or something else? I mean, it's kind of strange to me, or maybe I'm way off base here, but I guess what I'm saying is how can we decode something in English that we don't even know what it is they're actually sending us?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can answer this. That code that that you see, you see those, it's sort of small numbers, and then the wow signal was like GT, UV, something else like that.
Mm-hmm.
That code is just representing the strength of the signal.
Okay.
It's not actually, it's like all they're detecting is the carrier wave.
Okay.
Once it goes across the interstellar medium, the signal's degraded so much that it really isn't, you wouldn't be able to really communicate with it terribly well, unless you're meant to. It's just the strength of the signal, that's all that code is.
Okay. So how do they try to decipher it, or do they try to decipher it? I mean, how would they go about doing that?
Well, really, once it's degraded that much, the only way you could really communicate with it is by using binary, essentially on off, you know.
Mm-hmm.
There really isn't. You'd have to commit using a digital format.
So would they just send another signal? Would they just send another signal back to that same spot and hope for a return? I mean, is that what they would do, or I mean, in other words, they wouldn't be able to really know what they're saying, right? I mean, all they do is they're just hearing a noise, basically.
Well, I mean, you could it would take a while to get like some kind of anything like that, and that wow signal was just like vast, like it was just like it was like an antenna was sweeping across the sky and just pointed at us for a short period of time as it went past.
Right.
That was what that wow signal appeared to be, and like maybe if it was continuous, we could have like seen if it was building up like a pattern or something like that. I do believe that. I'm not sure how far away the wow signal originated from. Let's find out. From memory, it was quite some.
It was pretty far. I remember that. And it only lasted, I think, a total of like 17 seconds or something. It wasn't very long.
Just having a look. It says from Sagittarius.
Sagittarius, okay.
Now, if we know Sagittarians.
Me?
Oh my God.
That's me. Yep.
We're all in trouble then. Yeah, so full signal lasted for 72 seconds. Just trying to see the measurement. It didn't come from an actual star, so to speak.
Just an area, correct? Yeah.
Yeah. The is since that advanced.
Now, see, I've seen videos where people tried to decode it, so to speak, and they came up somewhere down the line that it was an actual police radio transmission, and you know, and all that stuff. Now, I never talked about it much, or never, you know, posted anything about it much, because that was the only thing that ever come out of it, you know, as far as as far as anybody knew. So I didn't want to get too crazy about it or whatever until they actually, NASA or somebody actually said, yeah, that's true or not true or whatever, you know, but never heard anything more about it. So, you know, made you wonder.
Yeah. I kind of get the feeling that if even if they did get the impression that it was actually from an ET origin, I think that piece of information I don't think would have been broadcast much back then.
Right. Right.
Received in 1977, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you're right about that. I think it was 1977. Yeah.
Yeah, August 15, 1977. But the funny bit is that the like using radio waves to communicate over the interstellar medium is a really not very effective way of communicating.
Right.
There possibly is a much better system of communication that's superluminal and doesn't degrade that much. And, you know, maybe if a technological civilization is only using radio waves to communicate for, you know, maybe 100, 150 years or something like that before they progress onto the better form of communication. That means it's just like a very brief period of time during which a civilization is announcing itself to the galaxy using radio. So.
Right, right. Well, you know, here's
that signal is most definitely not of terrestrial origin.
Right, right. Well, here's what's really funny, and I don't know, I mean, nobody knows for sure what was heard or whatever, but back when Tesla built his antenna, and he claimed that he heard, you know, interstellar Morse code or whatever it was, you know, I often wondered if he was hearing actual space noise and you know, thought it might have been extraterrestrial or whatever, you know, or something of that nature. Of course, a lot of people said it was the Black Knight that he was listening to or heard, or, you know, but who knows for sure, you know.
Wouldn't it have been funny if they're busy chattering to each other, then all of a sudden somebody builds a radio receiver unexpectedly, and all of a sudden they're all like, oh shit, they're listening.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Yeah. And it's like, uh-oh. Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, and that's another thing I wanted to bring up too, because we got all these satellites out there in the air, right? Not to mention all these massive telescopes that are, you know, they're way out taking pictures of Pluto and further out yet, you know, and stuff, and they're communicating back and forth with them right here on Earth. So who's to say somebody's not intercepting those communications or can hear those communications? You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's quite a distance in between. So I don't know. I mean, what technology are we using to be able to communicate with that stuff? Or even like the Mars rover, you know, for instance. So what is it we're using, you know, so they can talk back and forth, you know?
Well, here's something really kind of interesting that I just thought of. You know Charles Hall, Paul Weiss.
Yes.
He, you know, because of his line of work that he was in, he has a lot of people that he knows in various fields, you know, that are of their interest. And he says in I think it's his fifth book, he talks about the Roswell incident. And he points out the how can I say this? The Greys that in the Roswell crash apparently were listening to the radio chatter between the craft and their what would you call it? Their command.
Okay.
And apparently when they flight a craft that it could fire on the UFO, apparently the crew on board freaked out, and that was they panicked, and that was half of what caused the problem.
No kidding.
But apparently now that particular Air Force base, when they send up a fighter to intercept anything, or even for a patrol, they have to sit on the tarmac for half an hour or 20 minutes or something and repeat like 30 times or something what armaments they have on board.
Oh, wow.
That particular Air Force base.
Really?
Just why can they do that?
It's so that apparently it's because the Greys in that area do listen to the radio chatter, and it's to, you know, A, warn them that they're sending up an armed craft, and B, the period of time that they have to sit there and repeat what gives any UFOs in the area the chance to disperse and go elsewhere.
Mm.
Yeah. Apparently that policy started soon after the Roswell incident, just to avoid that ever happening again.
Just a safety measure, yeah. Huh, I wonder how true that really is. You know, that's something.
Well, I mean, John still works for the Air Force now, so, you know, he said he thought that was very curious that you know, a military base starts a policy that, you know, if you're going to send a fighter to respond to a potential threat, that you have it sit on the tarmac for 20 minutes, just repeating what armaments it has on the radio.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
He says it doesn't make a lot of sense from a military point of view.
No.
Yeah. So can I ask, like in Australia, how, I mean, does anyone even acknowledge that there are unidentified flying objects?
Oh yeah, just as much as in America.
Oh, they do. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you know, people, like, for all intents and purposes, people in Australia are almost indistinguishable from people in America. They talk about the same things, they watch the same shows, they have the same interests, you know. But yeah, I mean, like, there are various different, like, UFO groups. You know, there's just less people here, so, you know, there's less observations, less sightings, and that sort of stuff. But yeah, definitely people are relatively aware of it. There is a certain acknowledging this particular type of phenomenon in some circles is considered to be not very masculine, not very manly, you know, because it's not down to earth.
Right.
You know. And so Australians, you know, tend to be try to avoid the subject where possible. They don't want to be seen to be as, you know, crazy or
right. So basically, America is a lot more open than Australia is about it, then.
Yeah, I'd probably say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
But yeah, but I've never been one to really care what people think about my masculinity.
Good for you. Good for you. It's funny.
Yeah, I think that I was watching a show once where it showed, I think it was a school in Australia where all these children saw a craft. I think it was Australia.
Was it Australia or Africa that happened? I'm thinking it was Africa myself.
I was in Australia. It could have been.
Yeah.
I may be wrong.
I'd have to look that up. That's the one.
It was just a school where these kids were out in the playground during, I guess, recess, you know, and a large craft came up. I think did it land? I think it landed.
Yes, and
Oh, you're talking about Westall 66 incident. In the school in Melbourne, in the suburb of Westall.
Yeah, that one.
In 1966. Oh, yeah, that was a mass sighting. There was like 150 students, 8 teachers, a couple of farmers and road workers. One male student. The teachers were trying to hold back the students and saying, you know, don't go over to the thing. But, you know, teenage boys being boys, one of them jumped over the fence and ran over to it and touched. And I believe shortly after that he was taken to hospital, apparently with some kind of radiation injury. And another girl, and it's not really touched on a whole lot, but another girl jumped the fence ambulance and ran over to it as well. And apparently, something crazy happened with her because she apparently passed out, and then like has missing time. And when they came and interviewed her that afternoon, they took her away in an ambulance and apparently took her to a mental institution where she spent the rest of her life.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Wow. I didn't hear that.
1966, so that's 3 years before the supposed treaty that what would you call them? The people up there agreed not to overtly communicate with the people down here.
See, I'm.
Was the treaty made with what government?
Well, my understanding is it was made with the
NATO
government who claimed to be representing the world. So my understanding is it's mainly representatives from America.
Wow.
So that was in 1969 when that treaty was made. So you'll find that a lot of the UFO reports prior to 1969, they're overt sort of attempts at communication. Like there's a story where a guy was driving along the road and he sees something that looks like a tanker or something off the side of the road, so he pulls over, gets out, and realizes it's a landed UFO, and a guy gets off the UFO and starts communicating with him, talking to him. You get a lot of things like that prior to 1969, but then after 1969, it gets a lot darker, and you have people saying, "Oh, I think I was abducted. I can't really remember."
Yeah, see, that's kind of ironic. 'Cause I remember like Betty and Barney Hill. Theirs was, I believe, 1963 or something like that. Their abduction. But in between times, you didn't hear much about abduction stories. I mean, that wasn't something. The 70s was the big, what we call the big abduction bang. I mean, that's when everything seemed to everything seemed to hit the fan was in the 70s. But I do know only of a couple, and like I said, Betty and Barney Hill was one of them in the very early 60s. I'm not sure when the actual first abduction case, quote unquote, was ever talked about.
Well, I mean, wasn't what's his name in the Bible? That was technically an abduction, wasn't it?
Yeah, Ezekiel, or yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, there are lots of stories in mythology where people get taken up into the sky, and they report that the Earth is like looking at a bowl and all sorts of stuff like that. So,
absolutely. Yeah. Crazy
they've been
stuff.
doing it for a long time.
Yeah, true.
So that
through many religions, and of course, even stuff from like way back, Egypt and those times too.
Well, guys, I gotta go. I'll be back shortly. Bye-bye.
No, okay. Thank you, Colin.
I also seen a post on where it was saying that Japan was trying to build some type of extremely tall, I don't know if it says elevator to the moon or something like that.
Oh, really? Kind of like the story of Babylon, yeah, or what is that? The Tower of Babel, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Oh, it's funny.
But of course, that's on Facebook stuff. I mean,
right, yeah.
You can't take everything for truth, So
This is true.
it was just a post I saw.
That's funny. But it wouldn't surprise me any though. But I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
you would think though by now they have their hands full with that meltdown that they're still dealing with, and you know.
That's what I said.
You know.
That's what I said on the post too. I think they'd be cleaning up that mess first.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. At least you would hope that'd be the case.
And then I've seen a post where they were the test for that rocket. I guess it went okay. You know, I guess there's all these companies that are going to start, you know, building, you know, crafts that can travel space or whatever. But, you know, we haven't even gone back to the moon.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And I don't know the real reason.
Why do they want to just go straight to Mars when...
Well...
I don't understand that.
That's a good question, and I think a lot of it has to do... Now, don't quote me on this, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I think... in my own mind that they were always looking for another place to go to just in case something happened here, kind of like an escape route, you know, where they could terraform some other place or whatever, but they were always interested and always looking for other life on other planets. And of course, the moon deal, I honestly believe, was basically our jumping board. You know, being it was the closest place that we could spring to, and we could learn about rocketry and man's effect in space and yada, yada, yada. And I think once we took all of that as a learning curve, it took us beyond, you know, the moon. And I think that's one of the reasons why we haven't been back there, you know. It's... old news, so to speak, you know, nothing there, you know.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
But that's just my opinion. I may be totally wrong on that, but, you know, yeah. But, I mean, that would be my best guess at it anyway. I don't, you know, it's funny when you research that, and, of course you get a lot of people who say, yeah, well, they're, you know, they want to terraform Mars so, you know, the New World Order can go there, and, you know, blah, 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 a lot of conspiracy stuff going on. But I honestly think, you know, that the more we get into this, and I don't think Mars is going to be the last stop either. I think, you know, you're going to see us going to Venus and possibly even Jupiter, you know, or even further out. I mean, I don't know, but, you know, I honestly think that that's what's going to happen. You know, nice place to visit, wouldn't want to live there, let's move on, you know what I'm saying? But, of course, we're always looking for new minerals, and we're always looking, you know, who knows, maybe we'll become miners of gold on another planet someplace, you know? I mean, you know, absolutely, you know. Instead of destroying this one, we can go destroy someplace else and not worry about it. You know, I don't know. You know? Bring some water back. You know, put it in California. You know, for the big drought. You know, something. I don't know. It's funny.
That would be good if they could do that.
Did you see the satellite that they crashed on that meteor? That rocket that they sent there? That was pretty awesome. Just, what was it, a week ago? I think it was. It finally, I think it was Sandra Bridges or one of them that actually posted a video on it. And it showed it getting closer and closer and closer until it finally, you know, the last five feet, it took its last picture and then it crashed, you know, into the meteor, which I thought was pretty cool. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, did it on purpose. Yeah. Of course, they're
just trying to get it from the data from that or something like that.
Yeah, that, and they wanted to get enough pictures to see what it actually looked like and what it was made of, and you know, stuff like that. And I think they were studying the crash itself, as far as deposits being blown through the air, you know, and that kind of thing. I think they were taking measurements of that, and you know, a whole bunch of other stuff. But yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting.
I've seen one too, where it said, I think it was China's space station, something like that, was going to crash too, but they didn't know where it was going to crash or something like that.
Oh, that's very possible.
I seen that not too long ago. I think it was China.
Yeah. Well, I know they want to send guys to the moon and stuff. I don't know what they've done lately, or if they have done anything lately or whatever, but I know they were testing out different rockets and stuff like that to get ready to, you know, blast off out there. They're basically following our footsteps is what they're doing, but...
Well, and the thing, I kind of noticed, what's that guy's name? He's in Europe, and he was building those spacecraft to go into outer space. But he was like charging people, like, I don't know how much.
Oh, yes. Yeah, he was selling tickets.
Real quiet. I wonder what happened with that. I know they crashed, like one of the spacecraft crashed.
Yeah.
But,
and they didn't look any different than our old Apollo rockets.
Station in New Mexico.
That's what I heard. Yes.
Yeah, somewhere like Las Cruces or somewhere.
Something like that. Yeah.
That real rich billionaire, he was going to do that. I can't remember his name.
I can't either. I know exactly what you're saying too. Yeah. It looks like we have
I'll buy it.
a lot of stuff like that. I don't know. It seems like they start out, you know, with a big bang and whatever, and then they don't do nothing. So I don't know what the deal is there. We got two other callers here. Let's see here. Actually, we got three callers. We got Tim with us. Let's bring up Tim. Hello, Tim. How are you, sir?
Hello.
How are you?
Hey, Tim.
I'm late, y'all, but I made it.
Not a problem.
Okay.
And we got two other ones with us.
His name is. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, hang on just a second. Let me grab these other two guys here. This is a 914 area code. Hello.
Hey, it's Rob. What's going on, everybody?
Well, there you are. How are you, sir?
Hey, what's up, buddy? Rob, what's going on, buddy?
My goodness.
Just hanging out.
Cool.
Lee, how are you?
Hello.
Yeah, everybody, we got the whole crew on right now.
Absolutely. Good deal.
Yeah.
Except for Sid, sitting here yet.
No. Well, we do have one more caller. This is 716. This is back home. Who is this? Hello, sir, ma'am, or whoever.
Hey, it's Coop.
It's Cooper, Mr. Mike.
Oh, Mr. Coop.
How are you, sir?
It's not a party unless I'm here.
There you go.
Now the group is back.
Yeah, now the group is back. There you go.
We still need calling back.
Yeah.
How many callers do we have on right now?
5 altogether. Yes.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
So what's the topic of conversation tonight?
Well, we were just going to ask Tim. Tim, what's that guy's name that was building that ship you were talking about?
Richard.
Branson?
Richard Branson.
There you go.
Yeah. The guy that owns Virgin Airways.
Virgin Airways, that's it. There you go. Yep.
Is the other ship that you're talking about? Yeah, even all over Facebook.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
one of them. Yeah, one of them. Not the last one. Not the last one that's been on Facebook. But his kind of just in the middle of the summertime. They did a test on it, and it went out of control and crashed. And we haven't heard anything from them since.
Yeah.
There hasn't been eye or hair from Virgin Air since then.
Yeah, I was wondering what.
He's got a ton of money.
He got super deep pockets, man. He doesn't have to worry about that.
But didn't he sell a bunch of tickets, or we're selling tickets for people to take missions to Mars and stuff? And yeah.
Wasn't it 200,000 a piece?
Something like that.
625.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
25,000 feet.
Well, there was a Stephen Hawking had a ticket, and
Yeah, that's crazy. I know there's a couple of movie stars that bought some too.
yeah.
I can't think of his name now.
Ass did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's with, was he with Instinct or the other one?
Oh, that.
Yeah, he was
Backstreet Boys. Yeah.
Yep, Backstreet Boys.
Who's that? Backstreet Boys.
Who was the Backstreet Boys?
Not fast.
That's bad.
I wouldn't be on this phone right now.
That's funny. I might be. Yeah. Yeah.
I can sing and dance and I'm extremely good looking, you know.
Yeah.
Beautiful stuff.
That's funny.
Paying me not to get on the stage.
Yeah, exactly. They keep me off of it. Yeah. That's funny.
All right, it wasn't that funny.
Yeah, it was.
It was funny. It was definitely funny.
Well, you should see me. You would really laugh.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, tonight's. What's that?
I said, so interstellar spaceships. Is there any, with this guy building this, was there any specific method he wanted to use to propel this?
Well, they were testing out.
Gravity, was it nuclear?
It was just your standard rocket engine.
Yeah.
He had developed his own rockets, his own propulsion system and everything, you know. It was similar to the same rockets that we use today, that NASA uses and everything, but
Right.
His was stated to be a little bit cleaner, a little bit less intrusive to the environment as far as emissions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm really not sure what the specs were on it. But it did work pretty well for the first 1 or 2 launches went off.
For real?
Yeah.
You know
Did
what's
the
crazy
pilot
is that
survive that crash?
What?
Did you say the pilot crashed and died, Kim?
Did he survive?
No, it was unmanned.
Oh, it's
it's
okay.
grown this style.
This particular, the last one that malfunctioned, it was an unmanned.
Yeah.
It was an unmanned craft.
But didn't he talk about making shuttles instead of just rockets though? Wasn't he planning on taking like a group of people all at one time or something?
Yeah.
Isn't that what his deal was? Yeah.
It was something to where they went into space and came back.
Right.
Wasn't it, George?
Yeah.
You would think after 60 years of using a rocket engine, they would kind of formulate a new plan for propulsion.
Well, they are. They have.
Or something like that.
They have. They have. And this is what people are seeing is, yeah.
Why won't they put it on their new ships?
They're very expensive.
Yes, it's that phosphorus.
I mean, they got money.
NASA has got an engine now that they say that can propel a craft to Mars, and I think, if I remember right, I'm going off memory here, so forgive me if I'm wrong, but
no, we're gonna
takes me like 2.5 to 3 weeks.
No,
well, it's pretty fast. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll
because I heard 6 months.
Yeah, it's.
No,
Or is that standard?
That's standard. That's what we have today.
Right now, it's 6 months. Yeah.
6 or 9 months, something like that. 6 to 9 months.
It's still not that long.
All these videos.
There and then getting back.
I don't know. It's an awful long time to wait and pee on land.
all these videos that you see with these rockets in Florida and stuff with that phosphorus looking deal, that's all that new engine that they come out with. Yeah.
They've been using it for a while.
Yes.
The space shuttle even used a different. Well, now to get you all to familiarize yourself with different types of rockets and solid rocket boosters and stuff like that. Solid. What a solid rocket is that it's a solid propellant The propellant is not liquid; it's a solid.
Right.
Inside of a giant burner canister.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as it burns, it produces a massive amount of thrust.
Right.
And that's what they used on the space shuttle. That was
Wouldn't that scare your face off when you're thrusting? Like when you see the people like their cheeks are all pushed back and.
I wanted to ask the question, if you don't mind, and if anybody can answer this, I wanted to ask, how can you have propulsion with common, normal stuff that needs oxygen to burn in space? How is that done? Does anybody know
your own
about
oxygen? You bring your own oxygen.
It's liquid oxygen.
Oh, okay, so that's why it does that.
It's liquid oxygen. Yeah.
Okay.
Matter of fact, if you remember.
Oxygen too, so a lot fits in that small tank. Like they can pressurize it down.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you ever remember a picture of the shuttle, it had the one solid booster in the center and then your two liquid oxygen boosters are on the side. If you ever remember a picture of that, that's what the space shuttle blew off with. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, the space shuttle now, if you remember, if I'm working on y'all's memory here. Whenever you watch the space shuttle go off, it always left a solid stream of exhaust gas.
Correct. Yes.
There's I mean, it wasn't steam. It was smoke from the solid rocket boosters.
Right. Right.
From the fuel?
From the fuel burn.
Yeah.
From the burnt fuel gas.
The chemtrail.
That's the exhaust emission from the solid rocket booster. Now liquid rocket. Now like the Saturn V. You check out when you see the launch of the Saturn V. You will not see not one puff of smoke, not one little bit of smoke at all come from the exhaust.
Why is that?
Right. Because it's burning. Everything's just so hot.
So clean.
The heat is so.
Are we talking white hot heat?
Blue hot.
Blue hot. Blue hot, white hot.
Possibly even green hot if it gets hot enough.
Sure. Yeah.
Never heard of that.
Yeah.
The Saturn V rocket is the single largest mechanical instrument ever built by man to actually move on its own. And the engines were well, it's 300. Basically, the Saturn V is 365 feet tall. It weighs in the excess of like 2.1 million pounds.
Yeah.
That's what I weigh. That's awesome.
That's funny.
You got some good thrusters, don't you, man?
I definitely have some good stuff. I'm not going to lie about it.
I don't know, at 2.1 million pounds, thrust is the least amount of worry you got.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's a really strong just the fact that if anybody who's seen a Saturn V up close, and if you go, if you drive to Huntsville, Alabama, the NASA lab camp, NASA camp, and all that is there at Huntsville, Alabama. Right next to the highway, they have a Saturn V rocket standing upright. Right next to I mean, you can drive right by it.
That's as big as the Washington Monument.
It literally takes your breath away when you see how tall this is, man. It's it's mind-boggling, and the weight, and then to think that this thing actually got off the ground, and not only that, but it went faster than a speeding bullet. This thing went to get out of the atmosphere, it had to be chucking down to like 17,000 miles an hour.
That boggles the mind.
That thing was doing it was cooking on at 17,000 miles an hour when it broke out of the atmosphere, man. That's just
crazy.
It's mind-boggling that the fact that they were able to control the flight.
Isn't that got three combustion engines on it? Is that the one you're talking about?
It had 5 stages. And it had 5 main rockets. The first stage was 5 main rockets.
Oh, okay.
And it produced Science the other day. I was thumbing through Popular Science, and I came across an article that was talking about the new engines for NASA, and it said in the article there, it mentioned that making a trip from here to Mars in 2.5 to 3 weeks.
Wow.
That's
just
that's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
They can?
That's just.
They have the technology to do that now?
Oh, absolutely.
We're talking colonies on Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like we have
3 weeks to Mars.
let me grab Colin here. I think this is Colin back. I'm sorry, Tim. Colin, is that you?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, very good. We have Colin back with us. Good deal. Alrighty.
All right, simple.
Yeah. So anyway, go ahead, Tim.
Here.
So go ahead and finish up, Tim. You're saying that 3 weeks or 6 weeks to Mars now? That's what they're saying?
It's something like 3 weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks to Mars. And anyhow, so that just right off the bat tells me that this is an engine that's completely different than any system that we know of. That the public is aware of.
Well, you got to remember, Buck Rogers was fiction until it came true. So you might have some kind of ion transfer magnetic motor that can literally, we're talking Star Trek here.
Right. Mm-hmm. Basically, that's what we're talking about. Yeah.
They just need to build the Enterprise.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be unreal.
I just wanted to mention.
Lithium crystals, though.
Yeah, and lithium crystal. Yeah. I want to mention that James Bundy. James Bundy is with me. He's talking here on the other on my comment page here, and he was showing us some of the Virgin. He showed me a post of the Virgin Galactic, and world's first commercial space liner, which is pretty cool. And he went on to say about the green hot that we were talking about. He says would mean that you're burning copper in the fuel. The chemical components are what give off the color, obviously. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. So, but then he also posted another one about the space rockets. How they work without air and stuff. But I'll put that all up on the big post so everybody can read them. Pretty cool stuff.
Hey guys, my battery just died on my phone. I gotta go, but thanks.
Oh, not a problem, Mike. Thank you for joining us. Yeah. Good to hear from you.
I wanted to spend more time, but my phone is beeping, so.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
See you later.
Thank you, Coop. Yeah.
Good night. Yeah.
Mike Cooper from my old hometown, from my high school buddies. Yeah, good deal. Glad to hear from you. But yeah, James there is posting a few posters. I'll put them up on the other deal also, so we have them. I'll share them with the rest of the group here as we go along. Good stuff.
I just our events so people in my group can follow and chime in whenever they want, and
absolutely
check the past episodes that we have on Blogtalk Radio.
Yeah, thanks. Good deal. Yeah.
I said it's starring Clarence, myself, Lee, and Tim.
There you go.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, you forgot Colin.
Yeah, Colin's here. Yeah.
I'm still here. I'm not saying anything right now. I'm just listening.
But
Colin is the one of the group that keeps us focused on the
subject.
The mainstream.
Right.
What do you call it?
Yeah, that.
the mainstream culture of how we look at things scientifically.
Exactly. Yeah.
He has more of the scientific knowledge of things, albeit
he's more of a physical scientologist.
keep my imagination from running too wild with me.
There you go.
We have a tendency to basically,
right.
Kind of be lighthearted about it, but also be truthful about it.
Sure.
Sometimes when we sit and we hypothesize about some of the things that we know not of, and we try to figure out a lot of things. Sometimes our mind can wander off on a fantasy trail, so to speak, of what could be, not what the actual factual thing is, not the scientific knowledge of what things are, but of what things could be,
right?
How things could have been, or whatever, like an ancient power source, for instance, just to use as a grab something out of the air. Whatever whatever we come up with, it's just going to be a figment of our imagination, so to speak,
right? On
how it actually works. We don't have any physical manuals or anything to give us the basis of how this thing works. So,
right.
So we're having to go about things on a kind of like a rudimentary type level. We're basically like a new baby coming to life in a wide open universe.
Exactly.
We're in an infant stage of our knowledge of things. Where so to keep me from getting too far gone, too far ahead of yourself, and losing the scientific side of it. Colin keeps me aware of where the science is at, and that's what I appreciate about him, man.
Yeah,
very
absolutely, absolutely.
Science textbook.
Yeah.
You can't get no better than Colin.
That's
Colin,
right.
My man, you are your props to me, man.
Cool.
Oh, I will take that as a huge. I kind of feel bad because, to be honest, I think that people's imagination is one of the most powerful mechanisms that we have.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I don't want to think for 1 minute that I'm like stifling people's imaginations.
No.
I'm wondering what's out there.
You're shattering my emotions and imagination.
Oh, that's funny.
It's just keeping us
straight. Yeah.
Giving us some balance. So
there you go.
Keeping it real.
Yeah. That's funny.
All I should say is that if I have seen feather, it's only because I stand on the shoulders of giants.
Well, there you go.
Well,
cool. Which brings me,
I sent Clarence a message with the Woodward effect.
Yes.
Clarence can see that.
Yes, I sure did.
That is an effect that breaks Newtonian physics, in that it's a propellantless propulsion method. It appears to work. It's been peer reviewed and tested and whatnot, and against all Newtonian physics, it does actually work. And that's one of the things they're talking about looking at in order for the Mars mission.
Right.
But prior to that, I have the pride of saying that here in Australia now, in our own universities here, we've actually built a more effective ion propulsion engine that instead of using xenon gas, which is very limited in resources and expensive, and it actually uses essentially a giant arc welding rod, and the actual rod itself is the propellant for it.
Wow.
So it's easy to store. It's not a liquid or anything. It's just a big solid rod of metal.
Right. Like a solid rocket. Yeah.
Apparently they're looking at that one now for the Mars mission, and I think that's the one that they might be talking about that could get us to Mars in 2.5 weeks or so.
Wow, that's crazy. I just posted that on my timeline, so if anybody wants to see it, just scoot over to the timeline, I will also share it in the Closer Encounters page so people can see that also. That's pretty interesting. Cool. And I'll post these other things that
kind of
James Bundy put in there.
Feeding sort of little bits and pieces of technology that really that amazingly advanced or developed or anything, kind of they're just starting to challenge the generally accepted norms of current society scientifically, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Cool.
Mm.
Pretty interesting.
But thank you for those compliments, Tim. I really appreciate it.
Hey, so thanks, Colin. Well, I appreciate what you bring to the group. Really, your knowledge is just unbelievable. Your firsthand knowledge of a lot of these places and of knowledge. You are very well educated. You can tell,
mm-hmm.
or I can tell.
I think he's a very well-rounded individual altogether.
Absolutely.
I don't think my wife would agree with it.
except for when he kills my dreams.
Yeah, kills your dream. Yeah. Well, listen.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
I feel so lost and empty now because he just destroyed my dreams. But we're good.
I want to bring up something.
I love you, Colin.
I want to bring up something while Colin is with us. We talked about this, Colin and I also talked to Tim, and I believe, Rob, I think I talked to you about this also, was my theory about the booms that people have been hearing over the past few years.
Oh, yeah.
And, of course, Linda Moulton, how...
Right on, but go ahead and explain what you're about to say. I think,
yeah.
For the record, that you are definitely right on with this.
Well, that's why I got Colin. I'd like to ask Colin face to face or radio to radio, however you want to talk about. And I think we talked about this before, but when you have such a thing as an exploding star, much like that, like the one we talked about there, you know, the Hubble telescope saw it, and you're seeing now what we see is the gas outline of it and stuff like that. Would we be able to hear that later on down the road, years later, after it happened?
Well, okay. Let me give you some background. The rumor has it that what makes our particular corner of the galaxy so special is the fact that we are relatively sheltered from what they call space weather.
Okay.
In that there's a lot of stuff, space weather. There's a lot of stuff coming from the center of the galaxy. Okay, a lot of like storms of radiation and material and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And we just, so if you look up at the galaxy, here in Australia we have like the front row seats to the galactic center.
Your sky is blue.
You'll see that there's a big black like void over the middle of the galaxy, over the center of it. And that's because there's a lot of like nebula material in between us and the center of the galaxy that obscures our view.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently that's what makes our particular spot so safe, is because we're sheltered here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that doesn't mean we don't get space weather from other things like exploding supernova and whatnot.
Right.
Now,
right.
hypothetically, if material can travel superluminally, which we discussed last time I talked, and is evidenced from those images of that star exploding,
mm-hmm.
Then perhaps when that material, or even the light from it that is traveling at superluminal velocities, strikes the Earth's atmosphere, it should release an insane amount of energy into the atmosphere. So, which could cause vibrations and shock waves, which could cause booms and probably, I would even predict not just booms, but probably
Screeches.
squeaky noises.
Yeah.
What we would hear is kind of squeaking.
The trumpets.
You know, because what we'd be hearing is like, yeah, like a trumpet, so to speak. So I think Clarence, your theory is quite sound. I would say that that's an entire possibility for it. It is happening. You know, people are observing these weird booming, trumpeting noises. You know, I mean, it's not like a weird once in a lifetime effect. You know, people are recording them all the time.
Sure.
So it wouldn't at all surprise me if that's what's causing it. It is some kind of upper atmospheric effect, but that's one thing for certain. So it could cause it. It could also be caused by space weather from the sun. You know, we know that when the charged particles come from the sun, they get diverted by the magnetic field of the Earth.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
I mean,
that could also cause vibrations in the atmosphere as well. So squeaky, trumpeting, sounding noises. I could imagine that it could cause that. You know. But you know, normally you hear those things.
Town that somewhere in the U.S. where they constantly hear this boom though.
Right.
In this specific town.
I've got a question for Alan, since he's very scientific. I'm looking directly at a star right now. It does not move, but it's flashing red, green, and like regular star color, white. What the hell is that?
Is it twinkling or is it actually flashing?
It's twinkling.
Okay.
I can tell you.
It's not a plane, but it has not moved from it has not moved from that spot. It's always there and it always does it.
You know what? I can tell you what that is in just a second.
It's like going off.
That's a galactic space battle happening around the star.
No, I think I know what it is.
Well, what I'm gonna do is. That's what I was just gonna say. I'm going to let me look up. Hang on, just a second. I want to find my. Thing here. I use this tool all the time. I think it's awesome, and I posted it to other people. Let me see here. I gotta find it. Where is it? I got it stored in a special place here. Let's see here.
I'm showing my browser right
now. Well, it could be depending on where you're at. Now, you're in New York, so yeah, you're in the same hemisphere as I'm in, but you're a little bit more to the north of me.
I'm looking north right now.
You're looking north?
Yeah, and it's not the North Star, because the North Star, right now should be over my head. It's literally like due north.
Okay.
Here
it is.
My line of vision when I'm staring at the horizon.
Okay, hold on just a second.
Not a helicopter, but there would be nice.
What's your zip code there, Rob?
It's the same color.
Rob, what's your zip code?
10512.
10512. All right, hang on.
Carmel, New York.
All right, hang on.
So that's the upper northeast.
512.
Yeah, a small number.
And the time there is now.
No, it's
8:30.
8:31 or something like that.
All right, hang on just a second here. 8:30.
8:37 exactly.
Okay, and today is October 4th, correct? Or 5th? 4th? 2016.
And it's always in the direction of the nuclear power plant that I live close to.
Okay.
That. Because I'm trying to think of any variable stars that are in that area up there. I don't remember of any variables being up there in northern And any
what the variables are.
wrong. The variable is one that changes stuff. It either changes the light intensity or it changes color. And I think the key to what he's saying though is that it's not moving. It's not moving.
Yeah.
That's true. That's
it's a
right there.
star. It'll be moving.
It's there every night, same spot.
Yeah. Be something
That's definitely not an old star, is it?
No.
Could it be a dying out star that's maybe
exploding
or exploding?
It'd be moving with the rest of the constellations.
No, we would see it, no matter where we were at, until you get down below the equator. You get south of the equator, it might be harder to see, but anything north equator, for sure, is definitely along our
far enough away that it looks to be the same size as the stars. As the stars that I see in the sky right now, it's the same size.
Now,
so it's far enough away where it's not, it can't be a plane. It's definitely in the upper atmosphere if it's that, you know what I'm saying? Like it's that small.
Now, are you looking, which way are you actually looking?
Aren't there lights? Isn't like just the red flashing light? They don't change colors, right?
Yeah. It's red and green.
A plane?
No, planes, they blink. Planes blink.
But,
like,
I know they blink, but they don't change color, right? As far as I know.
Honestly, I see another one. I see another one due east right now too, and that one just flicked, and it's literally blinking, like pow pow.
Now you're looking.
Pow 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 pow, like that.
Sending Morse code, or something like that.
Almost looks like it's trying to, but now it just totally disappeared.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Completely gone.
Now you see that other one?
I think you just saw UFO.
Yeah, could be.
I honestly think I have my eyes on two of them right now.
Definitely.
The one that's far away, and this one was this one was definitely
very wealthy.
This one was definitely as far as the other ones, like star size, but it just flashed a couple times, and now it's nowhere to be seen. It didn't move. Like usually when it flashes, you can watch the pattern as it floats away or goes away, and it didn't do that at all. Didn't do that at all. It blinked. Bang. Oh, it just blinked again. But it's almost in the same spot, but it hasn't moved. It's close, but it blinked and then it blinked somewhere else. But it was lower, not higher, or not in like a left to right motion. It was up and down.
What color is it blinking?
This one's blinking just like a regular star, but it's.
And that's to the east.
A plane. Like I used to fly Cessnas. I know what planes look like in the air. So it's definitely not a plane. It could be maybe a helicopter with a spotlight that just flicks on and then flicks off. But the one that's staring straight at, not the one that I just mentioned, the other one, I know for a fact that that's there every night, same spot. Doesn't matter what kind of, what night it is, you can see it.
Well, here's the crazy thing. Here's the crazy thing, Rob. If you're looking due east at about a 3 o'clock trajectory, you're actually looking at the planet Neptune right now. And at 6 o'clock, you're looking at Uranus.
Really?
Yes.
Maybe that's what it is. That's why I'm seeing different colors.
They would be. Uranus and Neptune are very faint.
Sure. Yeah, they'd be very, very faint.
Planets are not variable. They're not variable in their light intensity or their color.
That's true too. Yeah.
It should look like a star, right?
A planet would look just like a star.
A planet is just a solid white dot of light. Where stars will
flicker, like the stars will flicker. You can see the stars
will flicker or twinkle or something like that, whatever you want to call it, like that, or intense.
Well, this one is a constant white with a flicker of red and green. The one that I'm looking at.
That's.
It's constant. The white should be there.
It shouldn't be there.
It shouldn't be there.
As far as I know, from my knowledge of variables and strong variables we have in the northern hemisphere sky, there shouldn't be any variable up there. Not
Well,
this
that's
time.
a show first. That's a
Earlier-
show first. We had a UFO encounter. A UFO encounter live on the radio.
Well, what I'm going to do, Rob, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take.
See it all the time. I pointed it out to my girlfriend 100 times. Like, look at it. Am I the only thing right in the room? Am I like having a stroke?
How low down to the horizon is the point of light that
It's above the mountains, but it's not like if I'm looking straight, I'm literally looking in like my eyes aren't tilted up. They're looking straight to the horizon. So it's got to be.
Is it completely dark, or is there's still some light?
What do you mean? Out around it?
At sunset is what I mean.
It's dark. It's
dark,
with
but
stars.
Now, which way are you looking, Rob? You looking north?
The twinkle can be caused by atmospheric distortion.
Right.
It can, like, come through all different colors, like red, green, blue.
But why would you do that every night? Would there be distortion on it every night? Is that a possibility?
Yeah, most nights, particularly over the mountains, believe it or not, and over the ocean, because the air is moving over the tops of mountains.
Well, it's definitely towards the mountains, for sure.
Yeah. But, you know, the fact that it's always there, that's odd. So it doesn't go up or down as the night progresses or anything.
No, it doesn't move.
It doesn't move?
It never moves. It's there all throughout the year, too. It literally does not move.
Now, is it possible that could be like on a mountain behind that or something?
But even if it would be a UFO, wouldn't it move, actually?
Yeah, they get bored.
Right.
Or unless it's like in Star Trek.
I could be like that all the time.
It could be part of the top secret base that our government.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a wormhole. Maybe it's a wormhole. It doesn't move through space. But then my position would move while we rotate, so I wouldn't be able to see it all the time.
Could be yeah.
Now, what I'm doing, Rob.
My theory is that because it's always there, and it's there every night, and it doesn't rise or fall with the sky or anything like that, and it doesn't move. My gut is that what you're looking at is a fixed light.
Oh, there he goes. I'm crushing my dreams again. Jeez, Colin.
But I mean, I can't see what you're seeing. So, I mean, maybe take a note of exactly where that light is, and then during the daytime, have a look in that direction again and see what is there exactly.
Well, I see in that direction when there's no leaves on the trees, where you can see straight to the horizon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When all the leaves come down, and it's not on a mountaintop. It's too far. It's too high to be on a mountaintop. That's over there. And the way that the light is showing me, it looks like a star. Like that's how far away it is.
I don't know. I'm not sure if that actually worked out or not. I took a picture of it live on YouTube here. I don't know if that actually worked or not, but hopefully you can see that. There's a couple of double stars that you got up there right now. It's pretty cool. And that's looking due north.
Would a double star maybe cause that difference of light when they're shining off of each other, let's say?
Well, here's the thing you have to remember. These stars you're talking about are tens of thousands of miles away that you're trying to see.
Right.
You know? So anything in between...
So that happened a million years ago, really, if it is a star.
Well, not only that, but anything in between you and that star, you know, crossing paths or doing anything crazy up there, you know, you may pick up if you understand what I'm saying.
Right, you may see it.
Yeah. And that's without a real telescope to be able to look at it, you know. And
I have a telescope.
Oh.
I can set it up and look at it, but I
there
don't
you go.
know if it's going to
right now, it's always like through the trees. Like it's through, there's a hole in the tree. And it's always in that specific hole that I look at.
No kidding.
Well, that's how it looks.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah.
Can I ask, does it stay in the same position all night?
All night.
Yeah, see, that's something different because
not move.
It would have to move.
Well, I reckon you should get that telescope out right now and lead the way, and you can look.
I agree. Get it out now.
I have the ability to pull it out right this second.
Yeah, we got about 10 minutes, so hurry up.
I got it right here.
We got about 10 minutes, so.
Let's see what we can look at.
Yeah.
Let's have a looky little guy. Let's see what we can get on. It's a badass telescope too, so it's not.
Okay, so I'm just gonna. I just Googled something real quick. So listen to this real quick. Of course, this is on the internet, so you can't believe everything. But this is supposedly from NASA.
Cool.
It says you'll notice that stars closer to the horizon will appear to twinkle more than other stars.
Wow.
Okay. That's because the atmospheric distortion, man.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Because it goes through more of the atmosphere. That's why. That's exactly why. Yep.
What I'm going to do here also. Okay, I'm going to snapshot all four of these. North. I'm going to do southeast.
What did you say?
I'm going to snapshot all four of these, and then I'm going to send them to your website, to your page, and then you can look at exactly what I got posted up here. and
it just says that starlight is refracted.
Right. Yes.
That's correct.
So I'm going to screenshot these four things here for you. I'll do south, and then I'll do east, I'll do west and north, and then you can actually look at it and see what I'm looking at. And I labeled the stars and the planets, so that way you'll get an idea of what you're looking at. I love this tool. This is so cool.
I'm looking right at it right now, and to me, through my telescope, it looks like a star.
Wow.
It
And you're sure you're looking at the north, right?
It has the same makeup with the black, like when you look at the stars in your telescope, you can see the flicker a little bit better. It's still flickering or twinkling like a star, but off to the, let's say the right and the bottom are two separate other lights that twinkle, with a red on the right and a green on the bottom. Like off the bottom of the star itself, there's a green flickering light at the southernmost pole, and at the easternmost side, there's a red twinkling light.
Yep, that's got to be the double star. There's a couple of them there. Wow, that's crazy.
It's pretty nuts. I've never seen anything like it.
Wow. Okay, so what I did.
And here is on my telescope, I have a laser pointer that points exactly to where I want it to point.
Yep.
Did
you see Clarence?
What I'm doing is I snapshot all four of them, and I am going to put them on the full spectrum universe so Rob can see exactly what I did here. So I will put these as photos.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it.
Are they on Rob's site?
They will be here shortly. I'm uploading them right now as we speak. Hopefully you can see the names of them. I hope it comes out. And if you look in the middle of the screenshot itself, it'll tell you north, west, south, east, you know, whatever I took it from. So keep that in mind when you look at it. And here we go. All I gotta do is push post. Voila, there it is.
I'll tell you what, this telescope that I got, guys, didn't have to brag. It's fucking amazing.
Cool.
Cosmo, a space-time odyssey.
Cool.
It's the coolest thing I've ever bought. Well, actually, my girlfriend got it for me for Christmas. Oh, she loves me and she knows what I'm into. So.
Yeah. Well, there you go, Rob. I got all 4 of them posted for you.
8 years. She knows my ins and outs like nobody's business. I'm the luckiest guy in the face of the earth.
Cool.
I'll tell you that.
Is she listening?
My girlfriend.
I have to say
Mark,
this, but she's not listening.
What's that?
I'm trying to see it, Clarence, but it's kind of small on the screen.
Is it? Yeah. If you click on it on each individual picture, it'll bring it up a little bit bigger. And
Okay, yeah.
You can enhance it too if you're.
Yeah. Okay.
That was crazy. That's the craziest thing I've ever seen. And I look at it every night and I'm like, what the fuck is? Oh, sorry. What the hell is it? You know?
Yeah.
I had to use the S word because it really boggles my mind. I don't know what it is.
Oh. Well, it could be a satellite. They might be satellites.
Yeah, but wouldn't that move and rotate in orbit like everything else?
Yeah,
Satellite.
it'd fly.
yeah, it would move.
Stationary. It wouldn't be,
Yeah, it would definitely move.
Pole. It would be down.
Yeah.
Quite outside.
And quite honestly, a satellite is pretty fast too. It's almost hard to keep up with sometimes. They're not slow moving at all.
No.
Same thing with a space
The
station.
ones that don't move are stationary ones, and then they won't be up near the poles. They go near around the equator.
No, they can't handle the pole polar
shift.
No, a polar orbit.
Right.
That's what freaked NASA out when they found out that if you ever heard of or seen anything about the Black Star satellite, it's a satellite that we didn't put into space.
The Black Knight?
Around the Earth.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be like 10,000 years old, something like that. It's over 10,000 years old. It was put there by some other advanced society, but to be more than that, it took NASA almost. They still have problems putting a satellite in a polar orbit over the north pole, rather than going around
The equator, it goes
the equator.
the opposite.
The opposite goes around.
Instead of going from longitude around, it goes latitude to latitude, like
latitude, yeah.
It's they don't have
See, Colin, I can get
all the fact that it just takes a lot more fuel to get to the
It takes a lot more to get there because of the
gravitational
and
also the magnetic field.
the magnetic belt,
Right.
the magnetic belt, the best Allen belt to be for be particular about Van Allen belts create an effect that throws off the trajectory of the telemetry needed
Right.
to keep an object in that type of an orbit.
That's a great word. Sure. That's a badass word.
I
got my telemetry up, and I don't know if this is.
got my telemetry.
What's this? Screw I got
That's funny.
Well, you know what it is. It's the Death Star. How did they make the movie? That's what it is.
Oh, the Death Star, yeah.
Maybe we're older.
That's funny.
Who knows?
Maybe.
90 seconds.
Uh-oh.
It's flat, right?
Did you? I have something funny to say. Did you ever see those Star Wars figures from like way back in the day? Alder on it. It was little pieces of rock.
That's funny.
So I was going to say, Alderon is what the asphalt used to be.
Right.
Right. Alderon is the planet that was destroyed by the Death Star, which was
60 seconds.
Maybe, possibly, could have been our own moon.
Yeah.
Our own moon could have been the Death Star.
Well, did you hear that they found a second moon in our orbit now?
No.
Did you hear about
They've
that?
been talking about this. They can't prove it because
Yeah.
Well, it's getting harder and harder to prove it because it's supposedly is on an exact opposite. It looks exactly like like our moon. It looks just like our moon.
I saw the moon all day long.
Yeah. Yeah. I've done that many times. Yeah. I've done that many times. You see the moon during the day. Yeah.
Yeah, like right in there, like
Yeah.
crazy, like right in the middle of the
10
day. Like,
seconds.
what is that?
Yeah. Well, folks.
You're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
It's not nighttime. I'm not sleeping.
Yeah. We just got our warning. I think they just shut us down there on the air, so I wasn't even paying attention. But yeah.
We got it again.
So what was the warning about?
It's our cutoff.
Why was there a warning? For bad language?
No. It's they shut us off.
We're at the end of the time.
Yep, our time limit's up.
The time is gone.
It's gone.
And now it's on the final curtain.
Well, that's cool because we were having a great convo.
Absolutely, it happens. Well, I want to thank everybody for calling in. It was a fantastic show. I had a lot of fun tonight.
When are we thinking about doing another one?
I'll do another one on Monday night. It'll be our next show.
Excellent.
So you can copy that in on your calendar, and
Right there.
we'll do that Monday night, 6 o'clock, same time, same bat station, same bat channel.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for the conversation. Thanks for the man. I love it, man.
Yeah, fantastic night.
Great show tonight.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, everybody.
All right. Well, then I'm going to say my adieus and goodbyes, and I'll talk to you all on Monday.
Very good.
All right. Take a photo of that live photo.
Yeah,
I'm trying
definitely.
to get some pictures of this thing too, so I can put it up so people can see what I'm talking about.
Yep.
I just got to get a camera up, got enough zoom onto it, so it can really get some kind of like, some real footage of it.
Sure. That'd be awesome.
But I'd also get a compass bearing on where it is from your location, and get a map and just draw a line and see what's there. You know what I mean?
I definitely will.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah.
Then you can use that thing I put on your.
Have a good night.
Yes, you too, Rob. Thank you.
All right. Talk to you later.
Alrighty.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Alrighty. Well, that's going to end our show for tonight, and I do thank everybody, Colin and Tim and Rob and Lee and Coop and everybody that's called in, even the ones in our chat room. I do appreciate. I really do. This is what keeps me going, and it keeps us going, and I really thank you all a lot. And with that, we're going to close out. And in the meantime, everybody have a safe and great weekend that's coming up. And just like Rob's doing tonight, keep your eyes to the sky. Thank you all.
Blogtalk Radio.